Hey everyone, this is D, Movieman, fellow cinephile, popcorn addict, and emerging film critic, coming to you with reliable recaps, reviews, and reactions. Alright, so I think it is high time that I did something movie related. You know, I've been doing recaps of Insecure, and part of that was really to get more comfortable with the camera so I could get over this whole thing I had about being seen and seeing how I look, and you know, this whole complex and fear I had about that. And so now that I feel like I've gotten over that, I'm going to continue to do the Insecure recaps, and I'll still probably do a show here or there just because it's fun and it's something to talk about and discuss and review and recap, of course. But also, I wanted to make sure that the focus of this channel, which is movies and the cinema and all things related to that, is still the focus. And I figured since it's something I really enjoy, I love talking about, it's something that's been very pivotal for me in my upbringing, in my childhood, in my adult life. There's a lot I've learned from film. There's a lot I appreciate about film. So I wanted to take the opportunity to bring that to the forefront. And what better way to start than with a reaction video? So some of you may be familiar with the upcoming Aretha Franklin biopic called Respect, starring Jennifer Hudson. That is going to be coming out this December. And they have recently dropped a new teaser for the film, so I figured I'd go ahead and watch that and then just give my thoughts.
What you want, baby, I got what you need. You know I got it. All I'm asking is for respect.
How many albums have you had?
4.
And no hits. Honey, find the songs that move you. Until you do that, you ain't going nowhere.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Find out what it means to me. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. T-C-T.
Aretha, you do talk, don't you? Not just sing?
I like you to call me Miss Franklin. You have to disturb the peace when you can't get no peace.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Find out what it means to me.
Ah, all right. Ooh, okay. Respect is an iconic song. And with songs like that, it's just like, even if you're not in the mood to like dance or sing, it's just kind of like, you just, the lyrics and the sound and the vibe, you just can't help but R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Find out what it means to me. But yeah, from the beginning, I've always thought an Aretha Franklin biopic would be a great idea. But I also know that biopics can be tricky. First, with the person that's being portrayed, what they want to include in that story, what they want to share, what they want to withhold, the way certain things are depicted. I think there are a lot of great biopics, but you know, some are accurate, some aren't, some are well cast, some are not. Some depict certain aspects of a person's life, some don't. So I think that there's a lot to really unpack in one film about an artist. And I think with Aretha Franklin, there's so much to really pull from. And she's such an iconic, legendary artist in music history. So she definitely deserves a biopic. Now, I'll say this. I think that Jennifer Hudson is not a bad choice for Aretha Franklin. She certainly is a better choice than Halle Berry, who some of you may or may not know was Aretha Franklin's original choice to portray her. And I don't know, I can't really begin to even wrap my mind around that. Poor Halle Berry, because I think she was doing her best to kind of find the right response for that without just coming right out and saying like, are you crazy? I can't do this. When I think of Aretha Franklin, I think of a lot of different people. Halle Berry is not high on the list. And I know that Halle Berry gets a bad rap sometimes for her acting and how people perceive her acting, and partly because of some of the things she's done in the past, some of the films she's done. The fact that she's the only black actress to have won Best Actress, and there are many other actresses that people can see that should have won that, and for maybe a role that was less degrading. So that's just how some people feel. There's some aspects of that I disagree with, but it's not about that. I feel like whether you think that Halle Berry is a great actress or not, I feel like even a really, really good actor, depending on what they bring to a role, wouldn't fit this. So people say Halle Berry. But I also think that Angela Bassett, who some would consider to be a much superior actress, I don't think she would work as Aretha Franklin either. I think she did a great job as Katherine Jackson. She's done a great job as Tina Turner in What's Love Got to Do with It. She's done great. But even as great of an actress as she is, it's just there's something about what she brings to her characters that just doesn't fit Aretha Franklin. Like, I could not see her lip syncing to Aretha Franklin's music. I just couldn't see her stepping into that. And it's not a knock on her skills. It's just even the best actor or actress can't sink into a role the right way, the way that they would need to for us to really believe it. So with Jennifer Hudson, I know basically after Halle Berry was just like, okay, I can't do this. Aretha Franklin had to move on and find someone else. And even before she passed, Jennifer Hudson was kind of the person. She said, okay, I think this is going to basically be the person who's going to do this. And then unfortunately she passed, and that kind of cast a bit of a pall on the project, because the most ideal situation would be to have the person there on set to, talk to the person and have conversations and really put all of the person's life along with their input into the film. But unfortunately, she passed. There's an aspect of that is kind of lost as a result of that. Now, Jennifer, I think Jennifer is talented. I think her acting can be kind of up and down. And although I think she is a solid singer, I think that her voice and Aretha's voice is very different. I think they both have kind of like the soul and kind of like the oomph in their voices. But I find that Jennifer Hudson has more of a heaviness to her voice, and she can be a bit more shrill and a little bit more of a screamer. Whereas Aretha Franklin, she had presence and she had soul, but she also, like one of my friends said, it was just like putting your face on a pillow. Just very soft, very smooth, very laid back, but still so full of presence and soul, So I think that'll be a challenge. And then of course with Jennifer being a singer, we don't get the benefit of hearing Aretha's actual voice. It's kind of the same thing with Cadillac Records, Etta James, and then Beyonce. You don't get to hear Etta James' actual voice because someone who is a singer, Beyonce, is doing their take on those songs. And it's kind of a cool thing because then you hear that person's take on the songs. And that's not a bad thing, but you just kind of miss out on hearing that person's voice. Like with What's Love Got to Do with It, Angela Bassett is obviously not a singer, so she had the benefit of being able to sink into the character because you hear Tina Turner's voice, and she was able to kind of adjust her acting and her mannerisms to fit her performances and her sound. That's one thing that Jennifer won't really be able to do. But I definitely know she's going to bring her all to it. I think she's going to really push to make sure that she does a good job, especially with her being gone. So it's added pressure. It's not to criticize her. It's just I understand there are going to be some challenges as far as what she's going to bring to the role. I'm excited for the cast in general because I think that in addition to Jennifer, I think that it's really well cast. I'm excited for all the people who are going to be a part of it. Forrest Whitaker as C.L. Franklin, which is Aretha's father. Marlon Wayans as Ted White, which I believe was her first husband. Audra McDonald as Barbara Franklin. Mary J. Blige as Dinah Washington. We have Heather Headley as Clara Ward. So there's going to just be a lot of solid actors and some interesting performances who are going to be portraying some very prolific people. So I'm excited for that. I'm also a sucker for a period piece. So the fact that it's going to be showing the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, all these periods in time, all this great music, the changing landscape of America, I'm definitely excited to see that depicted. So overall, I think this is a step in the right direction. And I definitely, regardless, I will definitely go see it. I will definitely go support. And I'm excited to see Respect. And I will be there, hopefully, very soon in the theater to see it when it comes out. I'm very, very excited for this. So once again, this is D, Movieman, signing off, and I'll see you at the movies.